Hi, you've reached HardwareZone.com. My name is Zachary. How can I help you today? Hey guys, it's been a while since my last review. The circuit breaker's been over here in Singapore and there's some semblance of normalcy back into day-to-day lives. We can go out to the park, we can go out and eat at restaurants, we can go to the mall, but we are still full-time working at home and we can't go into the office. Or at least they're not letting me into the office. So anyway, I thought this is going to go on for the foreseeable future and I might as well call in some work gear to review. And if you remember a couple of months back when this whole coronavirus thing started and work from home started, HardwareZone, we did a few features on our work from home setups. I did a vlog about it and I've actually been using these very old pair of Razer Banshee StarCraft 2 edition headsets for all my meetings, and it's not a very professional look. It's big, it's garish, it's all plastic, it's like So Jabra sent me their top of the line Evolve2 85, the best headset for concentration and collaboration. The Evolve2 85 actually shares many similarities in terms of design with last year's Elite 85H. Now the Elite series is Jabra's consumer range. The 85H was the top of the line, the flagship there. The Evolve2 is their business range and the 85 is the flagship here. Now both these headphones have like very thick and plush leatherette padding on the headband and the ear cups. You've got very similar unique like curve to the headband design and these like circular design elements on the ear cups. Now of course, being a pair of business headphones, the Evolve2 85 has an additional like hidden boom mic that the Elite 85H did not. Now what I like about these, using them for the past couple of weeks, is how solid they are. They have some heft to it. It feels sturdy, it doesn't feel flimsy. Things that you move around, components that you move around, like for example, to adjust the headband, it's a smooth pull in and out. You don't hear any clicking or anything like that. But it's not loose, right? There is some kind of like resistance to it, and when you move it to where you want to stop, it stops. And even if you shake it around, it doesn't move after that. The headphones also can fold to pack away. But when you do take it out, there's this very satisfying click to it when it locks in place, and again after that it doesn't really move anymore. Now if I have one comment about the design, is that I think the ear cups swivel the wrong way out because it only swivels one side. Now what do I mean by this is that here, this is left, this is right. Now most people wear headphones, when they're done with it, they leave it on their neck, which is common. You see it outside. I do it all the time. What I didn't realize is that when you're at home, things are different because you use your headphones all the time, not just in the office for a couple of hours, or not just when you want to listen to music when you go out. So here's what happens when you don't use your headphones, when you leave it on your neck and you're working at your desk all the time. Sometimes you look down into your laptop, sometimes you look down into your keyboard, and this happens. See? My whole chin is basically rubbing against the leatherette padding, and after a while it gets gross because human skin has oils and sometimes you sweat and it gets all on there. Now if it swivels, it's great because now my chin doesn't touch it anymore unless I do this, but nobody does, right? But there's still a but. Because it swivels out, because the padding faces outward, I find that this part still touches my neck, and you know, and it still gets that oil slick there, and sometimes when you're sweating it still gets wet, it still gets gross over time. Now this might seem like a very small problem to you, that you know, Zach's nitpicking too much, but when you're using a product over time for a week, 2 weeks plus, you kind of feel some of these things. Now the ideal situation would be if it swiveled the other way around. Now I have to turn it around because it doesn't do that, and it sits on my neck like this, where the padding is on my shirt, on cloth, which is great. It feels comfortable, it feels cool, and because of the design of the ear cups that's sloping down, right, nothing really touches either my chin or my neck. Actually looks better too. Okay, one of the few things I really like about the Evolve2 85 is just how versatile it is. For example, these are Bluetooth headphones, right? I can connect it directly to my phone, to my tablet, to my laptop, just like any other Bluetooth headset or headphones. But because these are business headphones and you use it in an office, and not every PC has Bluetooth built in, it also comes with its own USB Bluetooth dongle, which you can use. And what I found is that even though my laptop had Bluetooth support and I could connect the headphones directly to my laptop, using the Bluetooth dongle gives me much lower latency than I would if I just connected directly, and that is really good for voice calls, because the input lag between what when you talk and what comes on the screen, or sometimes even for light gaming, lifesaver. These also have a 3.5mm jack, so you can use them as regular wired headphones as well. The Evolve2 85 has a retractable boom mic. I talked about this just now, but other than that, it actually has a total of 10 mics built in throughout the headset. Why does it need a total of 10 mics? Because Jabra uses all these mics for various things, like active noise cancelling, like hear-through mode, as well as using the mics on the ear cups as additional mics to make calls. What you can do is you can actually set this up in the Sound Plus app on your phone, or the Jabra's app on the desktop, where you can toggle this on and off. Now, why would you want to do that when you're in the office or when you're at home? Obviously, you would want to use the boom mic to talk, but you don't want to look like a douche walking around town with your boom mic out, so you can actually still make calls if you wanted to with pretty decent clarity. And the other thing is charging. So these have a USB-C slot, port, I would say. Yeah, port, slot, whatever you want to call it. USB-C port where you can charge direct, but it also comes with its own dedicated charging cradle. Usually this would be left on your desk in your office or at home. So when you're done with the day, it's a magnetic charging cable. You can just leave it on the cable, all professional-like. Okay, let's take a minute to talk about battery life. The Jabra Evolve2 85 has a 37-hour battery capacity. It also has fast charging capability, so you get another 4 hours of battery life with just 15 minutes of charging. Now, good thing about having a docking cradle for this headphone is that I've never actually worried about battery life, because it's just charging all the time, and especially we're at home anyway on my desk. But I did test this out while doing this review, and I've managed to get it to last about a week plus before I was forced to actually charge it. There are also many ways to pick and receive calls, or start and stop calls, start and mute and unmute your mic. Obviously, by stowing or moving out the boom mic, you can do that. There's also a button on a mic. Don't know if you can actually see it. I can't really see it on the screen right now. I hope whoever's editing this can actually see this button on the side. There's also another physical button on the side of the right ear cup. The Evolve2 85 also has on-ear detection, and this is something you can toggle on and off. Obviously, if you don't want it, you can turn it off, but when you turn it on, you can set the headset to auto receive calls when you put them on. It can be used to receive end calls. It can be used to mute, unmute. It can be used to resume music, and a lot of these kind of automations after a while becomes second nature. You don't really think about them anymore. You set them up once and you forget about them, and it becomes really useful throughout your day. I've never actually liked on-ear detection before. Obviously some people like them, some people don't. I don't find them at all useful all the time, but now that I'm using these headphones more for work, for calls, some of these automations, some of these things become a lot more useful to me than when I'm just using my headphones for music and YouTube. Now, there is one quirk about the Evolve2 85 that I think Jabra never thought of, because this is basically a business headphone, right? They designed this for the office, they designed this for call use. They never thought that COVID would happen. They never thought this whole new norm of working at home would happen. They never thought that somebody would need to use this at home now, and when you're buying this for the home, you're buying this for everything. The Evolve2 85, very similar to the Elite 85H, has 40mm drivers. It sounds really good. It sounds music or audio sounds full-bodied, and it's got a very nice bass kick to it. Because it has a solid closed back and passive noise isolation thanks to this very thick padding that it has, and of course along with the active noise cancellation that it has, you get very good isolation out of it. It enhances your audio experience even more. And with the dedicated boom mic, the 10 microphone sort of array technology, voice is incredibly crisp and clear on calls. It's great. But what I tried to do was, obviously, since I'm testing it, I tried to play games with it, and what I found out was two things, one good and one a bit weird. Now, the good thing is that Bluetooth headsets usually that are not designed for gaming have input lag. It's very weird when you play games, because what you say and what you get feedback from isn't really instant, and it doesn't really work that way. But with the Evolve2 85, because it has its dedicated, that dedicated Bluetooth dongle, it works really well because it lowers latency and I'm able to game with it. The other thing I found was that the Evolve2 85 has basically two sound modes, right? And this is built into the headphone. Whenever the headphone detects that you're in an app that it considers a call, this light will turn on. And when this light turns on, it sort of also activates the call mode. And when you end your call, you will see that the red light turns off and it goes back to its regular mode. There's another way to actually track what mode you're in. I mean, besides hearing that it's different, right? It's when you're in the regular mode, there's a dedicated button that cycles between active noise cancelling. Now you can hear, if I can let you hear, off. Hear through. I hope you can hear that. It cycles between ANC, off, the off setting, or hear through. So you either have ANC, three settings basically, but when you're in a call, hear through is automatically disabled and you can only cycle between ANC and off. ANC, off. ANC, off. These two modes are hard-coded again into the headset. There's no way to either turn it off, or there's no way to manually toggle it The problem with these two modes is that the headset seems to detect games as a call. Now, I've not exhaustively tested every single game. I've tested a couple of games that I normally play, like Counter-Strike, for example. The moment the game starts up, light turns on and it goes into the call mode. And the problem with going into the call mode is that it prioritizes voice, which means it boosts voice frequencies, but it muffles everything else, and basically every sound in the game sounds different in call mode. It also messes with positional audio, messes with everything. So yes, latency is decent now with its dedicated dongle, but audio is And this is not actually a problem with the Evolve2 85. All Jabra needs to do is give me a toggle to manually turn off this call mode, and then I can play in peace. Otherwise, pretty good set of headphones. Final bit of advice, the Jabra Evolve2 85 goes for about 707 Singapore dollars. Now that is a lot of money. So after all, these are a pair of premium business Bluetooth call headphones. So I wouldn't really recommend you to buy them for yourself. No. What I do recommend you is for you to recommend your boss to buy them for you. After all, you need it for work. Hey guys, before you go, don't forget to check out HardwareZone.com for more of our articles, trends, reviews. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join in the conversation. Like and subscribe to our YouTube if you want to see more of these videos. Do it.